everyone, welcome to this reading. So I've been wanting to do it for several months, possibly nearly a year. It's an energy reading, an intuitive reading of Britney Spears. To be honest, I think I know what I want to say, but I'll pull some tarot cards. Just because I channel, so I'm intuitively in touch, I kind of know. I've always felt an energy towards her husband, Sam, and I didn't actually pull his birth chart up. I wanted to see when he was born. But maybe I do that in the next reading, depending on how this one goes, to then do the birth chart comparison. He seems nice enough, but there was a massive disconnect there. I think that he was probably not at home as much as would probably think he was. Obviously, poor woman, and this is probably why I'm doing it, because I just can't stand injustice. What she's been through, I don't think it's heard of, especially in this day and age, with that conservative of 15 years. I don't doubt one little bit that she was drugged over the top. If she has currently depression, anxiety, I think she's on meds as well, and I think she's probably given meds a bit more than what she needs. Now that is not to look down on her, because I must say I think I'd put it down to 1 in 3, if not 2 people are taking at least an antidepressant and an anti-anxiety, whether it's a herbal or whether it's actually meds. In this day and age, we always go through it at some stage in our lives, and I think she's heavily on meds. I think that sometimes she's fully, I think she's very smart. I think she's very in touch with her intuition. I thought it for a very long time, and I think she does actually honor her intuition, and I think that's what's actually been protecting her. I think initially she might have been, as she's growing up, shamed to actually explore her curiosity. She's a Sagittarius in general. They like their freedom, but they're extremely loyal. And so, you know, this sort of zodiac comments or readers that say Sag, you know, you cannot pin them down in a relationship, etc. It's not that. It's about they're extremely loyal, extremely giving, and extremely trusting. You can trust them, and I think she's very trusting of other people as well. Very frank, honest, but you can't suffocate them. You need to give them their freedom, and that's not a freedom of wrongdoing. And it's interesting that in the news, I think the reason that's coming out is that he thinks she cheated on him. The woman is never out her bloody house. I mean, I thought they also bought a house and she was selling that house, but that doesn't seem to have gone through because she's still in the same house. So I don't know what happened there. And like I said, I've always felt a disconnect in his energy. And her being quite intuitive, I wonder how she didn't pick up on this fairly early on. I've got more to say on it, but yes, she's a Sag, and actually her life path number that I calculated for her is 33. It's a master number. And I believe, I've not done Sinead O'Connor, but I think Sinead O'Connor will turn out to be a master number as well. These individuals really are like masters, basically. They really are very intuitive. I did make some notes on my phone about while I pull up my notes. She's also got her moon in an air sign, which means she's receptible to a lot of overthinking that might actually make her quite anxious, but also make her sort of a sharp mood swing because she's got those thoughts. And this will be for every Aquarius with the moon sign. Every sign has the positives and the sides that they can be effective with. So I think with that, she really needs to understand her emotions, especially a moon sign. But 33 is the next level. It's a master level. It's spiritual. It's seeking spirituality as well. Very generous souls. I would say they probably tie in with old souls. They can be quite vivid and quite intense, and it's interesting. I've got one of those suddenly. I've never, or for a very long time, I've not seen one. I've got one of those. Do you know one of those? It just came past me. Little black flies that are do you know, like when you have fruit out or something? But it was really tiny. It just went past me. That's very interesting. I do think she's got bad energy around her, which I already knew. But they're kind-hearted, you know, and they're naturally inclined towards being more spiritual, especially with her Sagittarius sun sign. It's prophecy, isn't it? And, you know, that can also make your journey a bit more chaotic because you're kind of like double mystic, if you would like to say. And Sagittarius is about discovering spirituality and prophecy. And then when you break down the 33, it's like life path number 6, which is nurturing and a very responsible number. So I mean, I've got lots of notes on that, or I can go into that a bit more, but I do want to get into the energy. She's probably very open and frank. And I think if you tell her what to do, she's going to be like, why? And that's not because she doesn't want to do it, but just tell her why, and she's probably going to do it. She's very kind-hearted. She's very giving. And I think this is where she needs to be careful. Like, for example, she'd probably just say, if she's been in a long battle with someone in courts or finances, she's more likely to just say, listen, give them what they want. I can't be doing with this anymore. It's enough. Just let them take what they want, but get them out of my life. But that, where she can be rebellious is where you tell her what to do. And she's been in a situation where she's a Sag with these elements, and she's been in a conservative. Can you imagine how that is gonna be very difficult? And at the same time, in her younger years, due to some of her placements, she's probably felt like, you know, travel would have been one of the things she wanted to do, but she's probably felt like she could not be as curious as she wanted to be about questioning certain things, and she might have felt like she was being shamed if she were to question or be curious, because that would be in her natural instinct. And now she'd be learning to do that, embrace that without an apology. Her imagination is quite powerful, and that means that she can sometimes find it hard to trust her instincts, although she's very intuitive. She's also got one of her placements, but I'd need her proper timing. I think one of her placements, what I've worked out, is that she's mastered in this lifetime or in a previous lifetime work. So now it's about learning to nurture herself, learning about her home life, nurturing herself and allowing and nurturing others, but allowing others to nurture her. Where, you know, if you've mastered your work life, it's your home life, it's your personal life. And we can actually see that where she's probably taken a step back. And I feel there's a fear of why she's actually taken a step back from the music industry. I think there is still a lot of fear around her. I do believe that she doesn't know who she can trust, but she is very trusting, so she does need to be careful there. I think in general she should be able to get along well with her sister, but I think her sister's been more of the one that I won't shine as high, and I will just do what will get me to the kind of level I want to be, and I accept that level because I don't want to be at the forefront or at the attention, for example, of maybe the control of the father. And I think that flipped, okay? And I think her and her father, Britney and her father, so that made the spotlight on Britney being in control. And I do think that that he has flipped out of greed. I also don't understand I think the mother and father are still together, but I think the mother is just there, but she knows. Like she ultimately knows, and I think that's where Britney feels let down. Now with the Sag, by the way, if you lie to them or you're not straight and upfront, you're done. You know, if you break their trust. And it must be so hard, because even when you don't have your energetically, if you don't have your family, whoever it is in your life, it can be energetically difficult. So imagine feeling treated that way. There's heartbreak there. There's heartbreak, and she's carrying it. I think there's also something about her social media. I'm not saying about AI. I'm saying that I think she's been told, or something around a good therapy for you, because you are creative, you love dancing, is to actually record yourself dancing, put it out there, be expressive. And it's probably not in the way that she is doing it on social media. And I won't be surprised if some of that she's not actually seeing in a certain way. There's something about it. It's really interesting. So let's see what we get. Can I see? Can you tell me? Can I know how Britney Spears is feeling? You know, I've just said really what I wanted to say, but let's see how the cards match up. But I think there's bigger things coming for her, that's why. So we've got the contract. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. This could be her, like she's got the money and she's standing solid in her ground, but she didn't see, and she doesn't see how she was actually blindfolded to some energies around her, okay? And there is fear, there is anger that she is experiencing right now. It's interesting, he's very quiet on his social media, and I think that's how, I think he's also, yeah, the energy is not someone who's fully genuine. Page of Cups, she's in sort of like a dreamer serenity. I just want to be youthful right now, to probably mask how she's feeling. And try to connect to her heart, you know. Yeah, but the marriage contract is what she couldn't see, and she's got to make some challenging decisions. Too many cards, Spirit. The partnership of her, of the marriage. This is where she's, it's been a work in progress. She's been working on it, and she's been quite attached to it, and she's going to have to look after her money in this process. She's going to have to continue to look after herself and nurture herself while she goes through this. And also not fall in a trap of being held. Because there might be some greed around her. Ace of Cups. the world completion. So the completion of a love chapter in her life has come to an end, which we know, and that's what we can see. She does feel like she has to be, and she has been very resilient, and she has to continue to be resilient, but she is wounded. She is a bit hurt with that. The Page of Wands, she's got creative ideas and she's trying to just express that to get out of what she's actually been feeling. The Queen of Swords, though, is that she is in her head sometimes, and she is using her logic and discernment. And I think, like I said, I do feel like she's disconnected sometimes from her fully being aware of being in her physical well-being. And what I'm actually worried about was her relationship and the crumbling of that. But then how is that going to be? Because is this person going to now, or has he, and that's what's betrayed her, connected to her father and her family? And so then there's going to be people against her for money, just to take from her, or to come in to say, you know, she needs help, you know, and she doesn't, by the way. And the other thing that I'm worried about is her book is coming out in October, and I'm sure there's revelations of some of the coding she's put on Instagram. And if it's exposing Hollywood, because if you look at some of Hollywood, and you know this saying about sold your soul to the devil, well, there is elements around that, and I think she hasn't. But then a lot of people embrace the people that have. I mean, I can say about a certain singer that I think has just gone out the roof, but you can pull back your energy like Sam Smith. You can tell those that are just totally in it. And she just needs to, look, the Magician is here. This is about, that's interesting because I think her dad's got an element of Gemini, and there's communication, their communication, look, discernment. Yes, it's around communication. So this could be hitting on the book right now, but like if she's exposing stuff, whether she is, and what gets me is I don't always see it, but look, that water caged in. And there's karmic balance of cause and effect here. So exposing certain elite, certain societies, organizations in that top level, but for me, this is saying that she just holds on, needs to toe the line for several months to get that karmic balance come in. Sort of what she's been through, balancing out, okay? Well, then this is going to be especially if she feels betrayed, she does feel wounded, she feels like she's had to be really resilient for a very long time. And have her defenses up. She recognizes that she needs to have her defenses up, and that there's people around her. This could also be those that are involved with the elite, where she has to be very careful, and she has to make sure she uses her logic and discernment as well as her intuition that's speaking to her. Four of Wands, it is about the home, the family, you know, like her mom, dad, I wanted to say brother then, but she hasn't got a brother, she's just got a sister. Does she have a brother? Her ex-husband, and obviously Justice is the exit of the marriage as well, where she's got to be resilient, the breakdown of the marriage, okay? And look at this, always thinking, what is the plan next, and then putting that in place, making sure she follows through with it. Eight of Cups is the walking away. So like I said, she might just decide, I just want to end this and walk away from it because it's just been so heavy. Before I pull another card, I just want to check something before I elaborate on something. So yeah, the exposing of certain things, and I think she might have missed some of the signs, and now she sees it of this, her ex Sam, okay, and like, I don't know if he's been moody and there's jealousy, or it's her, and I'm not sure. Judgment, being able to see clearly now where she'd missed those signs around it. Six of Swords, the moving away, and this, with this, it's actually like, I'm done, take what, I hope she doesn't say take whatever you want, because they shouldn't have that right, bless her. But she's just like, I'll leave without anything. Just head in a different direction so that I change my trajectory and overcome this. A lot of mental thought with the Five of Swords. There's going to be a bit of ego battle there. Wheel of Fortune is Jupiter taking the opportunity to move forward when she can, as soon as she can, okay? And this is also where I've said she needs to hold on to several months. It could be 9 she needs to hold on to. I feel 9 is significant for her, but I'm not sure if it's a lucky number. She needs to hold on several months, maybe keep a bit quiet, but be protected from energies that will come towards her that are probably showing that, you know, they're good friends, they're adventurous, they're keen to have her best interests. Five of Cups is not looking back on what I've been through in life and just getting stuck there and feeling that you've never been protected by the universe. It's kind of like where you go back into, you've been very disappointed in life and you know the change needs to happen. And every time you try to take that change, you're sucked back in, and we can see that. The Knight of Wands, like I said, is probably also her energy. It's Sagittarius energy. It's her trying to move forward and be freed where she's been feeling tied. But also I think it's about trying not to let this get to her. Can I have some cards? I don't know what I'm asking. So I'm going to, King of Pentacles come out, but I'm just going to put it back. But yeah, and I think the book is supposed to be out in October, so I really hope that they're not going to play a game. I hope it's not going to be someone that she trusts in, that maybe gives her too much of a dose of something, and then it's kind of like, oh look, she's losing it. I mean, some of the things she posts is questionable, but that's where I'm not sure if she's actually fully aware of what's being posted, if she's the only one. And also, like, there's something about that there, but I do think she's been told for therapy, that because you love dancing, because it is therapy when you love something, to do it and express. You need to express yourself as a creative, and that is true with any creative artists. But there's a certain way to do it on social media, isn't it, where people then don't think you've totally lost it. But I think a mirror needs to be broken. Can I have Sam's energy? Sam's energy, not this tarot deck. Can I have Sam's energy? What happened? What happened? Justice. What happened? Justice and partnership. So I'm not sure if she's also exchanged with him. I don't know his sign, but if she's had harsh words of exchange with him, during, you know, or probably at some stage where she's had harsh words with me, but we'll have to see for what reason. What happened, please, Spirit? Maybe she found something out. I wonder if he'd been in touch with her father. Her father's not an Aries, but I wonder if he'd been in touch with her father, or trying to take some kind of control of her life. And that's when she was like, I'm not having it. Page of Cups. Someone was quite immature in their emotions, you know, just sort of very dreamy. Oh, I don't like to see that. Four of Swords is when you need to take rest. I don't like to see that Four of Swords there. Ten of Wands, the burden. Seven of Cups, the illusion of making choices. And the Moon card, what they can't see hidden. And the Empress here. I wonder if she got pregnant again. She did get pregnant. She lost the baby at one stage, didn't she? We've had before the Five of Swords, which is kind of also possibly unfair advantages, and I can't remember what position it came in where I said about ego. But that could have been also deceitful energy. This Four of Swords could be him being quiet on social media, dropping sort of just being quiet on social media. There's something hidden which we know, because we don't know if it was true. Clarify the Seven of Cups, please. I was going to call this out. Now, 3 cards came out is too much, but I was going to call this card out. So I'm going to ask the question again and see what comes out. Just need to shuffle. Clarify the Seven of Cups, please. There is something about being in like a dreamy serenity state. I think someone being a bit emotionally immature as well. Magician and the Knight of Wands for the Seven of Cups. Ten of Wands, please, Spirit. Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands. Page of Cups. We had that earlier. And the Four of Swords has come out again. I think the Ten of Wands is him feeling a heavy burden right now. And the Page of Cups comes out again where he's trying to be quieter, like being quiet away from the scene. I think she's given him some harsh words, but there was some emotional immaturity from his side. Six of Wands. Can I have clarification on the Moon card, please, Spirit? What is hidden is the betrayal And then we had the Empress. It's interesting that he said she cheated. Ten of Swords, please, Spirit. Leo energy. Is he a Leo? Strength, inner strength. Ten of Swords, please, Spirit. I don't want to pull the card I've just seen, because we've got four of Swords and I don't like what I'm seeing. She needs to be careful. There is a betrayal here. I don't know if it's from his side or her side. There's a Scorpio energy. And inner strength is needed while you have your external world in check. Someone's been trying to manifest something without actually... There's an ending of a chapter. And I hope this chapter is not going to be what it is. And a new chapter starts. I just want to check. She needs to hold the line for... I don't know what this is, the date that 9 again. I think about 9 months. She needs to be careful over this next 9-month period. But then I think she's going to be free. She will be celebrating the recognition of her book, but I think she needs to be very careful. Hidden is the Empress and betrayal. So one of them's betrayed the other, and it's been very difficult, and it's caused that ending. And a mental clarity has come through of it. The end of the marriage. A lot of anxiety and depression, sleepless nights. This could be her, could be him. And that card that I don't want to pull out is at the bottom here as well. Show me the Knight of Wands. Just do something really quickly. Let me see his date of birth. Is he a Pisces? Yeah, he's a Pisces. So what's hidden is the betrayal. Him and her, the betrayal. I wonder if it's to do with the pregnancy as well. Interesting. He's a master number 11 as well. She's a 33, he's 11. I think he's kind of like, that's where the 7 of Cups might be as well. I think he's a bit, he's there, but he is a bit disconnected, isn't he? There's something not genuine about him. He's definitely intuitive. Usually Pisces are quite sensitive as well. I wouldn't say they're the type that likes to be at the forefront too much. Any choices? I think she's got a lot of anxiety and sleepless nights over this. Nine of Cups. She needs to nurture and look after herself. I just check something. One of them was manifesting something and seeing something in rose-tinted glasses. Whether it's the choices around them of what they can do or the choices they made that led to the betrayal. Okay. She has had harsh words with him. And I think he can be a bit emotionally immature. She probably can be a little bit as well. Just multiple choices around, but they're not always substance choices. Seven of Cups, needing to use your discernment, like I said. Five of Cups, walking away dissatisfied. Page of Cups, Page of Swords, communication coming in. It's also her book. Ace of Cups. Her book that is really close to her heart. It means a lot to her. There's teamwork here. And the card that I was going to call out last time when 3 came out is too much. I wanted to know if there's third party. Six of Swords and Eight of Swords. Yeah, I mean, what is really hidden is the betrayal. She just really needs to be careful. And I hope it's not the card that I saw, and I hope it's not going to be where they decide, you know, they do something and pretend she needs to go into rehab or be locked away or something. I really hope that doesn't be the case, because I think she's actually there. I think it's the people around her and what is influencing her, and I hope that's not going to be the case, because there's a lot of fantasy in this. There's a lot of alluring temptation where, like I said, with the Seven of Cups, of wanting to manifest something, but then it's not of substance, and you move forward on a choice that is actually maybe something that's going to bite you in the back. It's not actually the best thing, and you think you've dropped the heavy burden and the wands, you know, kind of overwhelm. And I get that he felt like she was also a heavy burden. But I hope they're not going to, I really hope they're not going to do something to try and put her away and make it look like it's actually a religious person trying to bless her or something, or that she needs blessing because she's got, you know how they start saying, you know, an attachment, a demon or something has taken over you, and that's why you are acting that way. I'm going to leave this here, but I will read on her again. I just wanted to touch in. Really what I wanted to say was what I channeled without the cards. Her father might come into play again. And that's where that Four of Swords might come in. I hope not, because it makes me feel really sad if they're going to do that. Because she deserves to live her life. She's 41 now. She deserves to live her life. She gave her family financial freedom. I'll read on her again soon, and I'm going to also see who are the energies around her who are going to help her. I just saw this and I was getting that maybe a female is going to be someone who's going to be significant to help her. So yeah, that's what I've got on Britney Spears. So sending her a prayer protection, and if she happens to see this, Britney, you've got this. You just need to make sure you trust the people around you. Don't crumble, because actually I think you will have you might step away and take up like writing or be behind the scenes more, and you're going to have your freedom. Justice will come in. There needs to be a karmic balance for you. You just need to get through these next few months, and also make sure don't get caught up in allowing anyone to feel into your vulnerability. Some protection of someone around her to protect. So yes, that's what we're hoping for Britney Spears. Stay blessed. Let me know if you liked this, if you want another reading on something else. But I've been wanting to do it for a long time, even before the whole scenario of the marriage. But I didn't. And I knew I really need to voice with the book coming out, because I think there's coding in that's going to reveal quite a bit as well. I think she knows quite a bit, and I think she's being respectful and not going to be letting it all out. But yeah, so take care everyone, and see you in the next one. Bye for now. I actually wanted to add a comment at the end of the reading of part 1, just so that it's so clear, and I think you know that I like to make sure what I've channeled through my own psychic abilities is getting delivered in the right way or fully, and I do believe I present that. So in terms of the cards, like, yes, there was a betrayal, but I'm not, like you saw, I didn't get into who betrayed who cheated on who. I do think that Sam served a purpose in Britney's life, and I can go into that in the second reading, because I think there is a reason there. I'm not saying that he's coming out all cherries and he's not affected. I do think, and this is why I felt it was a bit weird with him, that with her social media, Britney's social media, she started over the last year, I think, started to get more skimpy and skimpier. And I was thinking, I think he's from a different background, maybe I would guess Iranian or Kurdish. And I was actually thinking, okay, maybe because he's lived in the States a long time, but still it's quite skimpy when she'd be on the bed with just her tiny maybe thong and just holding her boobs, but she's naked. And I was often wondering, how is he okay with that? And then also maybe when the dancing got even skimpier, it used to be in a dress, or you know, should have that top, or I should say my white top with shorts, and then it got into knee boots and more or less underwear most recently. And I think in general, I don't want to go down this road, but if your partner is not jealous when you're doing that sort of stuff, revealing that much, I think there is an element of something's wrong. And that also had made me question, but I think that he actually felt that the social media was a burden as well. I do think when we got the Page of Cups, and this is why I was thinking to put a comment, because I'll start channeling my intuitive more, which could go into a part 2, that he'd be in his emotions, he didn't like it. Now maybe he thought that he could control it, but she's just come out of what she'd been in, and she's not seeing it in a way that you can, I'm not controlling you, but maybe this is a bit too much, or whatever it is. And I can't blame him if that energy is right, what I'm picking up on. I'll go into that a bit more in the next part. If we wanted to look into why it's falling apart and the divorce, because for me, I was actually going to read on this, and why is he in her life, because I didn't feel it was totally there. But again, he could be a bit borderline, is it type B, and also maybe culture wise a bit more conservative. I feel like energetically, here we go, we're going into part 2, but I'm going to keep this very short. After the hit by the bodyguard of the basketball player, I think some things there shifted, and I don't want to go into why I felt that, but I can do in part 2 if you're interested. So I just really wanted to clarify that, and I really don't blame him about her social media, because I don't think anyone would like to see their partner revealing that much, but for her it's just like, you can't change me. And maybe he thought that he could get her to not maybe do things in a dress, and not actually get worse and less clothes, which she has. And like I said from the beginning, you can't tell her what to do without explaining why. And unfortunately, she's been robbed of her freedom. You've got someone who has strong astrology to seek freedom, that is then bound, okay, and bound in a horrible way. You know, that she knows that she would have been drugged, and right now we don't really know what the disconnect is. But my concern on this was, yes, I was picking up a little bit about him, and I haven't read on him. I do think he is a bit frustrated. There is emotions there. I don't think he's necessarily having a happy, jolly time. I won't be surprised if he did feel, you know, jealous or something was there. Like some sort of emotions in the scenarios maybe that he was facing, but I think social media did get to him. But for her, there's more heartbreak, more betrayal, and I know it was 6 years ago that they got together, so it's quite some time. Was it 3 years ago the conservative ended? When was it? 3 or 2 years ago? I can't remember. So she's still in that kind of, you can't hold me down, like it will trigger her, it will trigger her. And yeah, that's really what I wanted to say, that I'm not saying that he has come out on top or anything like that. And I think a lot of people will start reading on Britney now, if they, you know, they might do, if they find it that people are going to want to read on it. But me, it's about, like I said, she was coming out with this book, but I also feel energetically, I didn't know if she was fully there, but I knew she has a strong intuition about her. And I think people think she's not there, she's not in touch with herself, or undermining how much she's actually in touch with herself. It's only maybe when she's, maybe the meds are a bit more than what she should be taking. There's something there, there is something there, but she's not lost her mind, basically, like some people have said. Don't forget, she's been through a lot of trauma, so additional heartbreak, regardless of what went on, and then it is going to feel like betrayal. And we don't even know if then, you know, it could be like my family betrayed me, my husband betrayed me, especially if there's something that goes on there. And she's just going to have to be careful. And then the coding and the book coming out is what I worry about, because we see what happens with what has happened to some people in Hollywood that have probably gone before their time. And some of the cards I didn't like, and there was one card that I just refused to pull out. It could be just an end of a chapter and a new chapter, which we know with divorce, and then a new chapter comes in for her. So yeah, over the next 6 months, I know how long the divorce will take, but for her to really remain strong, sort of 6 to 9 months, I think more of a 9 month, but 6 months might be the marking of the divorce finalized. I don't know who she's hiring, but I really wanted to put that across. I'm not saying who's cheating and stuff like that. That's probably something I can look into part 2. So thanks for watching. Take care and bye for now.